Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm coming to you today with an Armada build using the new and improved Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder. So there is a new version here. I logged in today, a new version in development. Accounts have been transferred, fleets have not. So if you have an account like I do, you will be able to log in here. And this is the new version here. We've got the Armada artwork on the side. We've got, new Rebel fleet or Imperial fleet. We're going to be doing just a bomber fleet using Norra with this one. So when you click on new fleet, you'll notice the interface has changed somewhat. Now you have your ships over here, your squadrons here, and your objectives here as well. So what we're going to go with is we're kind of going to start out with a standard Rebel bomber build. So I'm going to be using Yavaris, and we will go ahead and now instead of clicking below on the upgrade, you can make it bigger there if you want. You can go ahead and click on upgrades over here. There's the title. We can go ahead and click on our support team, and we'll add fighter coordination team, and we'll click on, we're going to go with flight commander. And just for clarification, if you're not sure, the idea between these two cards synergizing with each other is, and you can click on each one to take a closer look, is that basically you reveal a squadron command. Flight commander says you can do this after you move. Fighter coordination also gives you the ability to do something after you move. And since they're both yours, you get to choose which order they happen. The fighter coordination team, after you move, you're allowed to move 2 of your squadrons. And then with Flight Commander, now all of a sudden you can activate them after they've moved. And this is especially helpful with Yavaris because if you have some bombers, like B-Wings, for example, that are close but just not quite there, you can move them 1 and then double tap because they won't have moved during their activation. So that's the nice thing. All right, so in addition to that, we're going to go ahead and toss in a GR75 with, we're actually going to add 2 GR75s. First one is going to be our primary one. It's going to be our Adar Talon one, and that's also going to have Bomber Command Center. This and to help them stay alive, we're going to give them Bright Hope. And this is the one. Basically, we'll go ahead and, especially for like a slower squadron, we'll go ahead and take Adar Talon. We'll have this guy activate first. Push a squadron up forward. Tap Adar Talon so that they get to shoot, move, shoot, and then stop. And then once Yavaris activates later on, we'll be able to attack 2 more times. So this is kind of like the triple tap. Bomber Command Center maximizes those rolls. Bright Hope helps keep me alive. The other GR75, we're only going to give that one, I believe we're just going to give him Comms Net, just to pass tokens around. So this way Yavaris can have an easier time, hitting 3 squadrons a turn instead of just 2. It's always nice to have that. And plus it's an extra activation. We are also going to add a big shooter. We'll go ahead and go with an MC-80 battle cruiser. And that will be our flagship. We'll go ahead and add General Dodonna as our commander. And we'll go ahead and toss on Spinal Armament and XI-7s. So, and there it goes. And this shows our whole ship down there. So we've got them all lined up. We can scroll in this wheel, and that's separate. We've got everything else over here. So we've got 2 separate panels. So we've got 4 ships in here, and all the rest, and this puts us at 264 points for ships right now, and we'll go ahead and start adding, whoops, wait, we don't want to add another ship. We want to start adding squadrons. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with Norra. Now, I haven't done any builds with Norra yet, and she came up recently. Somebody actually asked me today about Norra. So her ability is friendly squadrons with bomber at distance 1 gain the following critical effect. Crit, the defending hull zone loses 1 shield, and she has bomber herself. It doesn't say other friendly squadrons, so she does also gain this one herself because, she's friendly to herself as well. Now, what does this actually mean? Well, to break this down for how this actually works, we're going to talk about the timing of critical effects. Okay, as you know, the default critical effect would read that any damage that goes through the first card will be dealt face up. So now this one it gives you an alternate, so this won't be the default crit. The good thing about that too is with so many ships that have contain, it gives you a different crit that you can go with. But the thing that's really nice about this is that the critical effect is determined after defense tokens are spent, but before the damage is actually assigned. What does that mean here? Well, let's say I'm attacking you and I rolled a black die and I've got the hit and the crit. And let's say you've got 2 shields. Let's say you brace it to 1, brings it down to only 1 damage. And, well, actually that's a bad example. Let's say I've got 1 shield and I think, oh, you rolled 2 damage. I don't want to take that damage, so I'll brace it to 1. Okay, so now I've got 1 damage, but I still have a critical effect. Now, before the damage is assigned to that 1 shield you have, now the critical effect goes in. The defending hull zone loses 1 shield. And all of a sudden, you lose your shield. Now the damage goes through. Now, it won't be a critical damage because we've already chosen this critical effect instead of the other critical effect. But it basically is, if they're attacking a ship with shields, it's basically going to give them an extra damage as long as there's a shield up before their damage goes through. So it's very nice. Let's go ahead and add some more squadrons, and we're going to be adding a lot of bombers. So that's always a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and go with a lot of basic stuff. We're going to do 2 B-Wings, and we still have the plus here. Let's toss in, we're going to need some intel. I'm going to toss in Jan Ors. What is this one? Does that just let you swap? Oh, that lets you swap. That's a new functionality. Let's go back to Jan Ors. And for Jan Ors, we're going to need some escorts to keep her alive. And since she can share her brace, I will just go with regular escorts. We're going to go with X-Wings. And I'll make it 3 of them. Give her a little survivability there. So she can be surrounded by escorts, and people will have a hard time attacking Jan. And Jan's also nice too because she's got that black die, so she can, she doesn't have bomber. She's the only one here that doesn't have bomber, but that's okay. But all right, and then also we want some more. Let's add some Y-Wings. Spreading it out a little bit. I'm not going too much of all of one type. And the Y-Wings, they're pretty cheap, and they have a lot of hull. I think we'll add 3. So between Norra and these Y-Wings, that'll equal 4 total Y-Wings. And that's 133 points of squadrons. You see right down here we have our little list. And then we've got some objectives we can add. So let's go ahead and add assault. I actually was recently talking about objectives. If you haven't checked out my new videos about the original objectives, check those out. I have Corellian conflict ones coming soon as well. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with precision strike. I have a lot of bombers, and so that's going to help me out a lot. So I, definitely going to take those. That's going to be a good one. And let's go ahead and I definitely want, for navigation, I want superior positions. I've got so many squadrons that should have no problem at all getting behind the other ships that I'll get a lot of points for that, as well as force my opponent to add up. For yellow, I'm not going with fighter ambush here. Mostly because I don't have relay. I think fighter ambush, you really, really want to have relay, and I wanted to concentrate on bombers. So there are a couple of different ways that we could run this one. I think, I think hyperspace assault is a possible one. I think I can definitely work here, but I'm going to play it a little simpler for this one. I'm going to go with planetary ion cannon. Just because I like it. And it's not necessarily, I don't know if it's the best one here, but people I know are generally pretty afraid to choose planetary ion cannon. And so, it's not necessarily the best. I don't have strategic, I don't have relay, but I'm going with planetary ion cannon. It's a fun one. And yeah, and that's gonna do it. So let me know what you guys think. I like the new one. Let's go ahead and we're gonna call this Norra 1. Enter and save. All right, it's saved, and we got a printout. Let's take a look at the printout. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is new too. The printing face is totally different. So now we've got our ship, and then squadrons down there. So that's new. So what do you think of the new Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder? I think it's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if I prefer the old version or the new one, but it's pretty clean, and it looks like both are still available. If I wanted to go back to the old one, I think I could do that right There, yeah, and the old one is still available as well. So, yeah, that is it, guys. Let me know what you think, and as always, make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. Click the little bell for alerts. Check out all the contests and giveaways I've going. Check out Crabbok.com. We got a painting contest. Probably be announcing the winner for that tomorrow. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.